And the Marquoyer has it on that wing. Here's a shot. Henderson made a wild stab for spell. Here's another shot. Right by the score. Henderson has scored for Canada.
Man, so much hockey, jam-packed, a lot of stories this week. And I just try to even if I could find 10 minutes here and there, if I'm doing the laundry or something, I'm like, all right, I'm just watching a quick play, look this way. I'm like, all right, do my laundry.
Catch whatever you can.
Yeah, catch whatever I can. I've been all over the place trying to watch Ottawa, Buffalo games quite a bit.
Yeah.
A little bit of Tampa, Toronto, the Jets, a little bit of Vancouver.
Even for me, like this week I got my wisdom teeth taken out, so like I was home all week pretty much.
Yeah.
And so just trying to watch, like I watched a lot of the late games, like the Edmonton games, stuff, Vancouver. So it was pretty cool. Another cool thing too, like I was just like bored, then I went on eBay and just started looking at like old like Punjabi NHL players. Yeah. And I got their like rookie cards kinda. Yeah. So I got like Robin Bawa, like Jujhar Khaira, and all like Archie Baines, Manny Malhotra, and then Ball. So I was like, that was cool. And it's pretty cheap, like, because they're not really like big name players, but to me, like, it's
good.
Cool.
Yeah, good to have, right? Keep a collection. Yeah, that's for sure. Saturday night was jam-packed. There was a lot of close games.
A lot of games went into overtime.
Yeah, a lot of close games. I mean, we could start whatever. What game do you want to start with? We could start with even the Sabres.
Oh, let's start with the midweek game.
Okay, you want to start with midweek? Or
which one the Marner.
Okay, all right, fine. The big storyline, everybody. Before we talk about the game itself, think about the marketing. Once again, it's like, it's not even just about the Leafs. Oh, is Marner's not a big story? I'm just talking about like anybody. It could be Chris Kreider coming back to New York for a play against the Rangers or something. Every single time there's a storyline, why are you guys throwing it on the middle of the week? In the middle of January, and you're not building no storyline, right? If you have it on a certain day and build it like a rivalry Fridays or something, and then have your schedule set like that.
I think it just also it works out with like I guess arenas and stuff like that, right? Because what's it called? They share their arena with us.
I understand that, but I think they could do a little better job. It doesn't seem like there's really any thought process put into it.
Well, actually, they don't. But the only thing I can think of is UFCs are always like on Saturdays, so they can't do it on.
Yeah, but are they really competing with?
Well,
the UFC?
they're playing in Toronto this week, right?
Yeah, they're playing in Toronto this week. Yeah, but even playing in Vegas, I felt like you could have built something. It
was the craziest thing to me was. He was getting booed at home every time he touched. Well, imagine when he comes.
That's Maple Leaf fans there.
No, I know, but that was wild. Like in your home arena, and now watch when he comes to Toronto, it's gonna be like John Tavares in New York, right?
Yeah. Like those are good storylines. People are looking forward to. Everybody has it marked on their calendar.
Yeah.
So if you're gonna build a game, you gotta like kind of build it around that. Mm-hmm. And I felt like it was they dropped the ball on that one.
What do you think about the game? Like
the game itself?
Yeah.
Honestly, the Leafs should have had that one.
I think so too.
I when I was watching the first period, I was like, the Leafs should scored 6 goals.
Yeah, I know we were talking about it.
It should be a runaway game. Yeah. I was predicting first period, I'm like 6-2. That's gonna be the score. But then Nylander got injured. That was just a little bizarre. What happened? And then
he came back for a bit and then left again, right?
No, he didn't come back.
I thought he came back and played like.
I didn't see him back.
Oh, then he came left.
No, he just.
So he has like some sort of lingering issue.
Yeah, his previous lingering issue. But yeah, it was a good game. Everything was going fine. Michelli was playing good. I don't know. Everybody looked great. And then they just let the game slip.
Yeah, with 3 seconds and they tied it.
Yeah.
I think once that happened, like you could see like the Leafs' faces, like they kind of, and they got lucky too because they the DeFore whatever his goal, Russian names, but his goal got waved off with the offside, right?
Yeah,
so a good challenge.
No, exactly, and I don't know, just watching that game, going to OT. Matthews once again doesn't skate back.
Yeah.
And they're costing a goal in OT. I felt like it was the way that the game was going, they could have really set the game up for this week in Toronto. Because if they blew him out of the water, I think Marner would be really nervous coming back. Because just being embarrassed twice.
What do you think about the road trip overall, like the West Coast road trip? Because they won yesterday and Winnipeg too. And it was a good game. Like they were down with 2 goals in the third and then they bounced back.
The MVP of the Jets versus Leafs game is Hildeby's net. The The post for Hildeby, I would think it was first star.
Yeah.
Because
there was like, I think 3 or 4.
Oh my God. It was just like every single time he just rung. I was like, wow, got lucky. And then on the other side, you see Hellebuck just making some amazing saves. But yeah, no, it was overall a great game. I was at a birthday party yesterday. So I'm just like, clapping my hands, a 1-year-old birthday party while I'm watching the Leafs game, my eyes this way. And then every 2 seconds, somebody scored. Like that's when Matthews scored, it was 2-1.
Yep.
I missed it. I was literally complaining about, I'm like, oh, here he goes again with the Leafs. And then I turned around and Matthews put it in.
One thing that I noticed, like, especially on this road trip, is it's not only the first line, like players that look really good, like Michelli, Lawton's been looking really good. And
Lorenz had some good chances too yesterday.
McMahon.
Yeah.
And Lawton's going on this crazy run too, and he's been killing it with faceoffs. I think he's like 3rd in the league in faceoff percent.
You want to hear a funny stat? Oliver Ekman-Larsson right now, still getting paid by the Vancouver Canucks. He would be the 3rd most highest producing player on their team.
That's nice.
I believe he has 31 points.
So
they're paying him to play against them.
Yeah.
We'll play against them. So 3rd, we will be 3rd in points, but Oliver Ekman-Larsson's also playing great, even strength points. He had 2. I think he had a goal and assist.
Well, he got named
the tying one. I think Matthews deflected it.
Yep.
That went in. That was his shot. The team's it's looking good.
Better.
Yeah, it's looking better. I felt like they had some chances. They were waiting, and then they had some chances, but like Hellebuck played great.
Yeah.
He kept them in. But with the Jets, I was just seeing the transition game, man. Between their defense and their offense, I feel like there's a gap, and they're making some mistakes, and it just costed them the game.
Where do you think the Leafs go, like going to trade deadline, and like, do you think they're going to be buyers or?
Oh, I'd say my answer. I don't think my answers are going to change.
It's
I don't think on a week
stick with what you have.
Stick to what you have. If you got expiring contracts, you trade them. But no, I think this year doesn't matter how it's going. You gotta let the players solve it.
I think the way I see it too is because I was looking at their cap situation. They have a couple guys coming up, like Lawton's coming up, I think, and then same with McMahon. Those are going to be your guys that you want to lock down. So I think they're going to try and maybe make some moves and free up some space.
I think anything crazy, man. Like if you got some expiring contracts that you're not going to sign, that they're not part of the plan.
I know.
You trade them.
The way I see it is I think they want to re-sign McMahon and they want to re-sign Lawton too.
Yeah, Lawton. I know I've been hearing a couple of stories about Lawton, and I think McMahon. Yeah, of course.
But
I would definitely keep him.
I think maybe they move away from a goalie. Maybe look for a team that needs.
Yeah.
And the more I see it, I think it's most likely will be Stolarz.
But the good thing with them is that both they're all locked in.
All the goalies.
Yeah.
So
they're locked into their contract. I don't think they really need to make a move if they don't if they're not getting what they want. They don't need to make a move and trade a goalie. Because then the playoffs, I know that the salary cap still affects the playoffs, but I don't think
it's this year. It's not this year. I think it's next year.
It's next year, right?
Yeah.
So then you definitely don't have a problem. So I think you'll get a little more if you trade one of your goalies in the offseason. So why make that decision now? Like, what are you really gonna get if you trade your goalie away? What are you gonna get? A prospect and a draft pick?
I don't think this year they have a draft pick, dude. No, they have that Boston pick. So if it's complicated with
Philadelphia too. Scott Laughton trade as well. So it's like there's like a lot of what ifs. Like, if the Boston gets this pick, then Philly gets this pick, or if Philly gets this pick, Boston. It's kind of a little complicated. I was reading through it, and my head started. I was like, all right, I don't want to read too much into this. It just seems too much. But yeah, no, definitely the Leafs look better. Matthews definitely is very noticeable now.
Yeah,
I don't know what's going on.
He's shooting.
Yeah,
I think that was the biggest thing. He's shooting. He found his shot again.
I think maybe he's taking his vitamins. I don't know what's going on, but whatever he's doing, man, he's working.
Even yesterday, he had that nice, like the overtime winner to Domi. He had that nice pass.
So I had a problem with that play, like from the Jets' point of view, just like looking at the Jets. I think that was Morrissey, right? Josh Morrissey was the one who was coming back, was on a 2-on-1. So if you watch that play, you'll see that. So when it's a 2-on-1 and you know that he's the shooter, Matthews is the shooter.
Leave him for Hellebuck, yeah.
You got to leave him for Hellebuck. Hellebuck is so out of the net. He's prepared for that shot. So there has to be that trust between a defenseman and your goaltender where the defenseman has to take the pass. But instead, the defenseman went and he kind of was trying to force Matthews.
And he got stuck in no man's land.
And he got caught. And then Domi was wide open.
I think it's harder. Like on 3-on-3, especially when you have two, because there's so much more space, right?
Yeah.
because like he doesn't know what's coming up behind him and stuff.
Agreed. But think about it. If you were taking a pass and Matthews is forced to shoot, and if Matthew misses a net, then the puck's going the other way. It's a 2-on-1 on the other end.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think Morrissey had to make that move. He didn't really need to force Matthews there.
I don't know.
He could have, the way the Hellebuck was ready for that shot. It was not going anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
But I think just the fact of leaving that lane open, he got exposed. So I just think that there was a lack of communication.
I'm the opposite because Matthews beat him earlier in the game when Nylander gave him that nice pass right in the slot. That was
but if I show you right now where Hellebuck was, he's way past the crease.
Do you think he did? Then he could.
He was 100%
going
going to save that pass. He was going to save that.
What
shot.
happens if he just carried it in and went around him?
Could be, but that's when if the defenseman's right in the middle, if he will take that away.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you need to.
I think it's hard to criticize, especially like in overtime 2-on-1. Like you try and play like he was in the middle. He was trying to like take the pass away, but he didn't commit fully, just in case like Matthews cut across the crease and went.
But the defenseman shouldn't fully commit. He shouldn't make the first move.
Mm-hmm.
It should be the guy with the puck.
Well, I think it's tough. I need like 2.
Yeah, I don't know. I quickly saw like when I was watching the game and I saw it, I was like the first thing I noticed that, and then I watched the replay again, and I was like, I don't know. That just felt like it was a little bit of a hasty play there, because they could have easily went the other way. I think that happened. The Vegas game.
Mm-hmm.
They went the other way and then ended up scoring. So I don't know. I felt like the Jets could have sealed it. Those posts, man, I think they hit the post 5 times in the game, and there were such close plays. So
even the first, I think, first period, they had the double post and it went out.
Yeah. I think that happened even on OT as well. It happened in third period, towards the end of the third. It happened then as well. So yeah, it was just one of those games that the Leafs came out. The good thing just watching the Leafs right now is just like they're finding different ways of winning. They're not always like, they're not coming from behind. They're winning with a big lead. They're also winning a game that they don't deserve to win. They're winning different type of games.
Well, they took on the road trip out of 4 games, they won 2 and lost 1. Lost 1.
The Vegas one, that one they let that slip. They should have won that game. That was just it felt like it was a one-sided beatdown. And I mean, just looking at the Golden Knights, they didn't look that impressive to me.
Well, yesterday they looked pretty good.
They looked I don't know what happened.
It was close.
It
was close, and then in the third they just blew away.
Yeah, like they got the guys. They got this like the big guys, but I felt like there's a gap in their bottom 6 now. It doesn't look like the same Vegas a couple of years ago. No, that's another interesting team. Like, are they going to be buyers? Are they going to be sellers? Because they're at that point where like a lot of their players are on the older side. So if you are going to fully commit and buy now, then I don't think maybe in 2 years Vegas is going to be starting. They're going to start thinking about retooling.
Well, you still got young talent too, right? Because like Marner's not that old. And
Marner is 29, man.
But still,
he's 30. If you think about it, anybody that's crossing into the 30s is officially old.
Well, I think like they still have like maybe 3-4 years of.
Yeah, the window. I'm just saying, I think they're more closer to the end of that window than they are to the beginning of that window. Mm-hmm. So it could close much quicker. I think it all depends on all the other teams like San Jose and the Ducks.
Well, San Jose, like, they have the number 1, I think, prospect pool.
Yeah.
In hockey right now. So like they're only getting younger, right?
Exactly, right? So it's like it comes to a point where you're gonna have to decide. So if they go and they want to go buy right now, then this is it. It's like they have maybe a 2-3 year window that they could win it all. And after that it's done. It's closed. I don't think they have. I mean, if you look at all their players, Peter Angelo, all of them, they're all in their mid 30s now. They're getting old.
Even draft capital wise too. Like this year's first, it's with Calgary.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
You know what I mean? Like
so yeah, that was with the Golden Knights. So anything else with the Leafs, man? Before we shift off to the Buffalo Sabres?
Yeah, that's another hot team. But like they're neck and neck. Leafs. I think they're just 1 point back.
They're 1 point behind.
Yeah. So go on Leafs. Looks like they kind of finally figured something out.
Yeah. Sabres are 7-2-1.
Well, I was even going back all the way to January. I think since January 4th or 8th or something like that. Yeah. Out of 18 games, I think they only lost like 2 in regulation and 1 in overtime.
Yeah.
Which is nuts.
Yeah. They just lost to Minnesota last night.
And
OT. Overtime, which was it was an interesting game because at certain times it felt like Minnesota was going to run away, and then all of a sudden Buffalo they'll go on the counterattack, and they'll take advantage of whatever space they're getting. Mm-hmm. Like honestly, man, Doan looks so good. like that trade with Peterka is like a grand slam for them. They won that trade. I think Doan is such a mature player. There was this one goal that he scored. I think it was against Montreal. Did you watch that Montreal game with Buffalo? I think this was Thursday. Thursday night game.
Didn't see that.
Oh man, that was such a good game.
They won, right?
They won.
I was watching a little bit. I was watching back and forth between that, flipping between that and the Vegas game. I was watching the Montreal game first, and then
it was an exciting game. But then when you're just seeing how Buffalo was just dominating them, they couldn't they physically they're too small against them, and that Doan goal that happened, it was like it was on the side of the net. It was a power play. I think it was maybe it was a 5-on-3 or 5-on-4. It was such maturity. He just waited. He just slowly walked in and just went like top cheese right over the shoulder. It was a really nice goal.
No, even like Buffalo, like they were down that game and then they came back and won, right? So.
Yeah. Tage Thompson had a hat trick that game.
Yeah.
And even yesterday, I felt like there were some moments where Buffalo was just going to win before OT, but Minnesota was playing better. But I think just in general, with Buffalo. This is one thing I noticed with them, just watching this stretch, that they're holding onto the puck for like that extra 1 or 2 seconds, making that extra play. Before, it felt like they would panic a little bit more. Before, when they were on this winning streak, I'm just starting to see like some of their veteran players like Darlene or even, Byram's not really a veteran player, but it feels like he plays like one. But like certain players that are more, they're core players. It feels like they hold onto the puck a little more and they're looking around and they're playing with little poise, right? Well, I'm seeing that. No, I'm just noticing that.
One thing about them too is like honestly, like they're constructed pretty well. It's not like they have like it's just a team of veterans. They have a lot of young players too, like Darlene. They have Owen Power, a couple other young guys too, and Doan, right? So like it's not like they're like aging out.
No, they're supposed to be age wise. They're like in the middle, in the younger side, but just. I don't know, man. Just firing the GM, everything. I
remember we were talking about it earlier in the season. Yeah. We're like, they need to get rid of what's his name, Lindy Ruff, right? Ruff, yeah. And now it's like, how do you get rid of him?
Yeah, no, it's not. But they beat Philly, and that was they beat them very fast, like with a good statement. It was a one-sided beatdown, and again, even against the Canadiens. Honestly, I don't know how the game was back and forth because Buffalo, there were some times I was like, wow, this is crazy. Like Montreal's defense is getting exposed by everybody. Like forecheck wise, like they're just not big enough in the back end and they just can't get the puck out. They sometimes try to make these little fancy plays, get caught, and that's it. The cycle game starts all over again, and then they get exhausted coming out.
And, the craziest thing for me is like they didn't really make any changes. Like they changed their GM and like that's
I something clicked. I don't know what it was.
Yeah.
When I'm just looking at this team and how everything's turning around and whatnot, I just think Josh Doan is. I feel like he's like the key reason of why everything is changing. I'm just watching every single time he touches a puck. I feel like he makes all the right moves. And I hope this continues with Buffalo, man. This is great to have. I mean, with the Buffaloes going on, like going completely red hot, you're starting to see all the other divisional teams are also panicking now, right? Because there's a shift that's happening. So
it's like so close, right? Like amongst all the teams.
Yeah.
So you don't know where it's going. Like no team at the top feels safe, right?
Exactly. And then Montreal just beat Ottawa.
Yeah, that was a good game.
Yeah, a high scoring game. And same thing, watching this game, I'm noticing both teams have very similar issues.
I think
they focus on the offense.
Yeah, very offensive. Like Stützle had an amazing goal.
There was a couple of highlight reel goals that happened.
Yeah. And that was like the craziest goal I've seen. I think like goal of the year candidate for me this year.
Yeah.
Put it right in the top hand corner between the legs. But what do you think? Like I know Ulmeric's back and he's practicing with the team again, but I think if he was playing yesterday, I think it would have been a different game.
Sanderson came out with that quote. Did you see?
Oh, he said the same thing?
No. He fully blasted the goalie. He's like, how are we going to win if the goalie can't? His goalie's only making 10 saves.
Yeah.
But when you watch the game properly and you want to go over it again.
I was going to say, I watched the goals. Like a lot of them, there were like tips in front of the net.
Yeah.
Like, you can't really blame the goal. There was like a couple where he got beat just clean.
Yeah.
But
you can't fully blame the goal. I get it. There were a couple of them that the goalie could have done something about it. But I believe it was the tying goal. I think it was the third goal that Shabbat.
Well, for them too.
So the issue I saw in this game was Shabbat. made 2 big mistakes that costed 2 goals. And I believe that was a third goal where instead of when the puck was going on a transition, he overcommitted. And the puck went the other way, and then he didn't have enough space to come back.
Well, even in the first, like Giroux had like a really bad turnover up the boards, and the defenseman was like right there, didn't stay with his guy, and
well, the game-winning goal, Chabot, once again, so what he did was cheated. I forgot, I don't know who it was, but he thought that he could just poke it from him and fly out on the transition. But instead, no, sorry, this was not the game-winning. This was the game, they were winning. They're winning by 1. So as a smart defenseman, as a veteran on this team, you would assume that you're going to be sitting back a little bit. You're not going to be cheating. All you got to do is just let your offense do it. You don't need to cheat. There was a pass that was coming east to west, and Chabot, instead of sitting back, like not sitting back, but like playing your defensive position, he felt like he could intercept that pass and go the other way. You're up by 1. What the hell are you doing? Instead, he cheated. He missed a puck. Got caught, went the other way, 2-on-1, scored. Tied the game up. Montreal is known for coming back. What are you guys doing? Like 2 goals that Chabot screwed up on. It was the third goal. I believe it was the tying goal. And then Ottawa came back, scored 2 goals. And then he cost the game tying goal again. 2 goals. So as a veteran, you got to be a little more smarter with these plays. I get it. Offense is your game as a team. But you got to be able to pick and choose. And this is why Ottawa, I don't know, man. I'm not really high on Ottawa this year.
But it's still like, I guess so. But like they haven't had much like experience in like, I guess, games and stuff.
But Chabot's been in the league for a while.
Yeah.
This is nothing new to him. You're the veteran on that back end. And you can't even make these kind of very simple moves. I don't know. That costed the game. And then Sanderson comes out and blasts the goalie saying, you know, if you can't even make 10 saves. It was total 13 saves he made. I get it. But those goals were they were pretty hard. And defense costed. That Chabot goal was unnecessary. That could have been stopped. They could have won that game. They didn't even need to go to OT.
Well, Reimer, I think, is starting in that for them today. So
yeah.
Be interesting to see.
Yeah, exactly, right? So I don't know. How do you with Montreal, they were on a losing streak too. Right, and now they won.
It's so weird because like on paper, like they have a lot. We were talking about earlier in the year too, where they have like up and coming young players coming up, and they just look like on their going forward they're really good. It's just like defensive mistakes.
Yeah,
and there's just not consistent. I don't know. Like even goaltending, they're like playing 3 goalies pretty much. Fowler, I think yesterday was Monteblanc, and
most likely they'll send Fowler back soon. Yeah, because that's the only guy they could truly send.
Because he's on a 2-way contract,
two-way
right?
contract.
So
I don't know, man. Just like they lost 2 games, Montreal won last game, like with the Sens. I don't know who really deserved to win. With such high-scoring games, but they're both making very similar mistakes.
But at least Montreal, they're in a playoff spot, right?
Yeah, that's one thing you could say for sure.
And their early season success kind of helps them out now. So
yeah, but with the Sens, they're 4-5-1 in the last 10. They're on the bottom of goals for. I think they're like 29th. But then for shots on goal, they're like top 3. Yeah. So I don't know. It's like their stats are all over the place as well. Drew did make that mistake at OT, but then he kind of covered up. But it felt like he was just waiting for the goalie. Like, I don't know if you remember seeing that play, but Drew was just watching the puck for a while, and then he came in. But he had, I don't know if it was Demidov. They had enough time, but he luckily didn't score there. But then he scored right after. It didn't take that long. So yeah, Sens are a little bizarre team, man. They're starting to have that the Sanderson thing that happened. I felt like it's a little bit. It's not drama, but it seems like why would you call your goalie out like that?
Yeah,
the defensively, like go look at Chabot, man. Go talk to him. What the hell were you doing? Like talk to each other. Even you can't throw somebody under the bus, man. Like that.
Especially because like a lot of the goal, like there's 2 that I think like that he should have had. Yeah, just like clean shots, like not really through a screen or anything. But other than that, like they were just tips in front of the net or like 1-timers. I'm like, can't blame a goalie for that.
Yeah, and I was just seeing turnovers from both sides. So yeah, offensively it was fun, but defensively it felt like it was a disaster from both sides. You're just looking at like, wow, you can't see this style is nice and it's entertaining, but when it comes to the playoffs, you get exposed. Like you can't make these kind of bonehead mistakes. So that's one thing I would just say. Just end it off with Montreal and Ottawa. So let's move on to the Rangers, I guess.
Okay,
That's
sure.
that's a hot thing going
Where
on
they-
right now.
where they
Drury came out,
Yeah, and said
sent
they're
a
not-
letter out to all the fans saying that we're gonna retool.
which is weird because it's not like they're a young team, like they're on the upper side.
Yeah.
Like I know they made the trade for Miller. It looks like that trade hasn't really worked out for them.
Yeah. Well, it hasn't truly worked out for neither yet. But just, I don't know, man. Just like, okay, before we talk about the Rangers, this word, retool, what the hell does it mean anymore? Because, like, does it mean we can't say rebuild, but we have to say a nice, fancier word? Or are we just saying that we're moving players laterally? Like, the player that we have, we're just substituting with another player. That's all. That's a retool. Isn't that a normal...
No, so the way I
philosophy?
see it is, okay, so, like, there's rebuild, retool, and there's just compete, right?
But then, what was it, Alvin, GM of... was it Alvin? What the hell is his name from Vancouver Canucks?
Okay.
Patrick Alvin, I think, right? And he came with a, like... He was saying a certain word before a couple of weeks ago, hybrid
rebuild?
retool.
Okay.
Like they're using these bizarre terminologies.
It just confuse the fan base?
Yeah, confuse the fan base. Like, what are you doing? So, like, yeah, anyways, just going back to a retool, what you were explaining.
So, like, what I was thinking is, like, rebuild is when you're all in. Like, when I think rebuild, I'm like, okay.
To the gut. Like,
to the gut. So that's like, you know, your San Jose's and stuff, like how they just decided, like, last couple of years they weren't going to compete. They were just going to, you know, try and accumulate assets and then build up their prospects pool. And now, like, you could see it's kind of paid off and they have a deep prospect pool, and like some of the players are starting to come through now and they're in a playoff spot, which is great, right? So now there's that teams like that. Then you have your retools, and like teams that I put in this category would be like Winnipeg. I guess now the Rangers, right? Teams that are like on the cusp, but they may be missing like one or two pieces, right? And then you have your teams that are competing, and like for them, I think it's just like, you know, one or two players that they need to compete. So like your Carolinas, teams like that, maybe they're just one player away from winning it all, right?
So with the Rangers' point of view, when you're saying retool, when Drury came out and said that we're gonna retool, what do you think that means?
So I think they already said they're not renewing Panarin, and they're gonna look to shift. Who knows? Maybe like we were talking about, I think earlier you said maybe Carolina might be a destination for him or something like that too, right? So. But the thing that kind of sucks about it too is like you come out and say you're retooling. I think a lot of teams, like, you're not going to get as much value back for your player, right? Because they know you're looking to move them.
My thing with the stupid retool word means like every team that's not in the playoff spot is technically retooling. So
well, that's all it is, right?
Like,
so you're trying to find that balance.
A retool used to mean was we have this core of players. Like, we have these guys are a bunch of 26, 28-year-olds. And we're just taking this 26, 28-year-old and we're substituting for another 26, 20-year-old. And we're just going to move some of the core players. And that's our retool. We're done. But now that the way that they're trying to explain retools, it means no. We're not just getting draft picks and prospects. We're just going to go younger. So, but that's not a retool. You are rebuilding. You have to go younger. It is a rebuild, but why are you calling it a retool? I don't know, man. It's just
I think
confusing.
it's one thing. I think it's one thing too. It's like the way it comes across to fans and through to media and other teams. Like if you're a fan and you hear rebuild, you're like, oh, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, it's over. We're no point. Let's just a couple years where we suck.
And I guess for them too, like it's like, oh, it'll hurt ticket sales because people don't want to go watch your team get smoked.
Yeah,
every day, right, or every game.
Yeah,
but like then you come out retool. Okay, we'll make one or two moves, and then like, you know, our windows. I guess like the way they see it is like they're still in the window to win.
They're
like,
dead last. Rangers are dead last right now
in the East, but you know, they're the only team in the East with a losing record.
Really?
They're one team. They're one game back, but they're the only team in the East with a losing record right now.
Jeez, I didn't even realize that.
Yeah,
I didn't look at that, but
I was looking at standings today, so I was like, just, but like, you know what I mean? Like, it's so tight in the East too, where like one or two players are just change something, right?
So what do you? Okay, so just back with the Rangers and everything.
Yep.
Drury comes out, says that we're retooling. Panarin, they already announced that they're not re-signing him. They're going to trade him off. So what do you see the next year's Rangers look like? Like, what if they're retooling? then what else do you think they're gonna do?
Well, the crazy thing is too is like they have pieces, like they have great goaltending, right?
Yeah.
And with like Shesterkin, so you have goaltending. Like you look at the boxes, right? So they have great goaltending. Then you have JT Miller, decent center. You had Zibanejad, decent goal scorer when he's on, right? And then you have number one D-man in Fox. So I'm like, really, like you have all the pieces you need to be somewhat competitive. It's just like, what can you change? Because something's got to change. Like they're not doing well with what they have. Like, you know, there's been injuries too. Like Shesterkin's out now, right? So
to me, it's been the same problem as last year. They're too slow. When I watched them, they're maybe the most slowest team which I could find.
Which is like crazy because like a couple of years ago they were like right on it.
Well,
right?
that's what happened. But see, that thing is NHL's meant for young kids now, man. You got to be young, and even Mika right now. Mika's on year 4 of his 8-year contract right now, and he's at $8.5 million. He is going to be 36 by the time the contract's over. He's 32 years old. He just scored a hat trick last night. He's on a tear. I think in 48 games, he has 46 points. Oh, no, 46 games. 46 games, he has 48 points.
Okay.
He's on an absolute tear. This is like the highest trade value chip that you have now. You're never going to get more from Mika than you can right now. Like, I mean, I would be healthy scratching him tomorrow and trading him off now. So this is it. Like you're not gonna get better than right now.
But the problem is like, okay, like you trade him away. You kind of know what you have with Zibanejad, right? You're gonna trade him away, and then you might not know what you're getting back, right? Like, oh, like same thing with JT Miller. Okay, they traded for him, signed him. Do you think that the JT Miller that was in Vancouver is comparable to the JT Miller now?
No, I just think that the entire team, they're just too old. JT needs some young players to play with too. If you are gonna hold on to him, which it seems like they are, because they need some kind of veteran leadership. If they're even gonna do a so-called retool or they're gonna do a rebuild, whatever they're gonna do, they're gonna need some veterans. I think they're gonna keep Shesterkin. They're not letting him go. Yeah, that's just like you could. If you're gonna retool, that means you're gonna do it on the fly within 2 years. So you're keeping him. You're keeping Adam Fox because of franchise defenseman, right? Everybody else, I feel are expandable. Alex Lafreniere, having a terrible year this year. I think he's only like 10 goals, 28 points. But I don't think this is the best time to trade him. Trade value is really low. I think I'll rather just sit and wait.
You should have traded him last year when he was like.
Should have traded him last year. Yeah. But
that's
they didn't.
Too,
but
like,
I think Mika is the perfect candidate.
So the problem with thing is like, do you just like have these players have these great seasons, just trade them? I don't think it works out like that. Like they're
no, but I think you're starting to notice that for a first overall guy that they drafted, the guy that's supposed to be what he never lived up to the expectation, and I don't think he will. I really thought this was going to be the year that he kind of cements his way and says that he's a legit number one winger. But
I think usually the first thing that happens in a retool, anyways, is the coach is gone, right? So always when you start off with a retool or something, you try and change the easiest thing or something that's not going to affect.
No, but they already changed coaches before. Like the coach is not going to solve their problem. They're too old. Panarin, they already decided. So as soon as they said Panarin's gone, he's an older guy. He wants to stick around, but they're not going to give him the money that he wants. They're going to trade him out. Vincent Trocheck looks like another guy. Good chip. They may trade him off as well. There were some rumblings, but I think Mika right now has a lot of value because to think about it, look at his age at 32. He's at his peak right now.
Prime,
like I'm not saying his prime. I personally think that he was really good a couple of years ago. I think maybe like 2 years ago. After that, I feel like he's been coming down. Even though he's snapping right now, points wise and everything. But I don't think you can win with him. So trade him. This is the best you're gonna get from him. Trade him right now. He just scored a hat trick again, right? So he's been on a tear for the last 2 weeks. I think that's what the Rangers should do and get going. This retool thing is it's a dumb name. You guys are too old and you guys are too slow. You guys can't compete with anybody. So speed up.
But then look at like even though they're not doing well right now, like Florida, when I see like identity wise, like the way they play, like
no, they don't play like the Panthers, man. They don't hit like the Panthers. They don't move like the Panthers. Yeah, this Panthers of course is a little different. But Rangers, I personally, when I watch this team play, I don't even know what their identity is. Are they built on speed? Are they built on toughness? What are they built on? I have no idea. So just looking at that, I personally would try to trade some of those players, go get some prospects and picks. That's what I would do. I'm not saying it's going to be a full so-called retool where they're gonna swap players. I don't think there's no point of doing that. You guys are gonna fail. I think it's rather go collect your draft picks, go get some super young kids who haven't made the NHL yet, may make it in a year or two, and then you're just gonna have a rough. And maybe next year's gonna be rough as well. Maybe even the year after that, and then after that you could be
like when I was like looking at it too, I thought they were gonna be the bounce back team.
I thought that I had them first.
Yeah,
I had them first in the conference.
Yeah,
they're last.
No,
they
I know.
clearly didn't live up to it.
Yeah.
I was totally wrong. It was a wild take, but this now they did the same thing last year. They're doing the same thing this year. This is no fluke. It's just this is just who they are. It's over. The Rangers. There was a point where they had Tarasenko, they had Patrick Kane. Remember, like they had these big names where it's like, wow, they're ready, but they were getting too old. They made all those moves, and now you're just seeing their team is just really old. They don't move, especially if they're like really fast teams are on the transition. They just can't catch up. It's a young man sport, man. It's like you even if you have a bunch of guys who are 30, 32, technically in this league is too old. You need guys in their mid-20s. Like this is the window's getting smaller and smaller as the years are going on.
Well, like I don't know the way I see it, because even you look at that Tampa Bay team, right?
Yeah,
they're pretty on the older side too, right?
Yeah.
So
that's a good point. I mean, they do have, but the thing is with them is they have a few good stories going on this year.
But
that's the reason why.
Well, it's I don't really think it's like age. I think it's just that's why I say coaching's such a, because even you look at that Buffalo team, sure they're young, but they're not.
But Hagel's not old. Like he's not really old. Sorelli's not like really old either.
But they're not like Hagel's.
But they have a good mix of everything. That's what you need.
Mm-hmm.
When you look at the Rangers, all their core players are old.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, Fox.
I'm just curious.
Old,
what are the oldest? You want to pull it up? Oldest team, average age by team.
The Pittsburgh Penguins. So it looks like number one is Pittsburgh, at average age of almost 31.
Yep.
Then you got the Winnipeg Jets are almost average age of 31.
Mm-hmm.
The Kings at 30.6. Yeah, Leafs at 30. See, Leafs are one of the oldest teams as well. Almost at 31. Same thing with the Oilers at 30. Yeah, you got the Rangers are not even in the top 10. Interesting.
You sure this is right?
That's what it says. Wow. Rangers are right in the middle. They're right in the middle of old. I don't know, man. I guess I was wrong. I don't know. When I watch them play, they just look older.
Mm-hmm.
They just play old.
Yeah, that's what I was like saying, because I'm like,
yeah.
Like I knew Pittsburgh's up there in age.
Pittsburgh's a definite. I think everybody already knows about that.
Well,
I mean, that's just because
Malkin.
Yeah, you got
and
Malkin, you got
Crosby.
Crosby, Letang.
They're gonna bring up your age, and even
Carlson.
Yeah,
you got a bunch of older guys. So, but yeah, I don't know. With the Rangers, I feel like they got a couple of guys. I think they should be a little more aggressive. They should make some aggressive moves now, and just stop this nonsense of just saying that I'm going to trade 1-2 pieces and we're going to turn it around. I think for them, they need to make a couple more. I think they tried it for quite a bit of time with the core players they had, and it hasn't worked out. So, gotta change it up and see what you can get.